The browse mode, I can get to a lot of different screens, but down here is probably the most important area. This puts me down in the basic setting mode. I've got save load icons, I've got system information, network information, and initialize calibration. A lot of these products are purchased in piece parts. And what I mean by that is you might purchase a shell of a recorder with maybe one module, and then 6 months later, you might find the customer needs to add another couple of 3 modules. So when you add these modules, when you initially set up the hardware configuration, the best thing to do is go to the initialize calibration icon and go to reconfiguration, execute, and then let the recorder reconfigure itself. This way it knows what modules are installed, and it knows how many inputs it's got, how many outputs it's got, how many, really it identifies what options are turned on and whatnot. So that's a good starting point. If you want to go right into the setting mode, over here you'll have a listing of all the different things that are available to you in the recorder. This one at the top is the control settings. Basically this one's you're telling it whether you want to be a single loop controller, cascade control, PV switching. These are all the parameters for the internal PID module that I've got mounted in this particular recorder. Now there's another one underneath that called program pattern settings. These are all the settings for the ramp soak profiles that I've got loaded in the recorder. The third one down is one where most people are going to start with a base recorder. It's the analog input channel settings. So here's where you'll go in. You'll identify what type of input it is, a voltage, a general signal, thermocouple, RTD, contact closure. And then you can go in and identify the alarm trip points. There's going to be 4 alarm trip points per channel on this recorder. And these alarm trip points can trip 6 different ways: high alarm, low alarm, rate of change high, rate of change low, time delay high, time delay low. A lot of flexibility there. Here's the display settings for this particular channel. You can have a character name, a tag name for that particular channel. Instead of displaying the channel as channel 1, you can actually display the channel with some kind of meaningful name on it. This one's flow 2 building and 5, flow 2 and building 5, okay? So you've got these display settings, and this recorder is so flexible on a per channel basis, you can actually have selectable custom colors for each channel. There's 3 RGB guns there. So you can make that channel any particular color you want. You can have any particular scale you want for that channel. But complete customization on a per channel basis, really. This is an option called cal correction. I want to talk about this just a little bit. Cal correction gives the customer the ability to eliminate known thermocouple error out of a sensor, okay? Usually when these customers get this piece of thermocouple wire from the vendor, they'll get a little piece of paper, and on this piece of paper will be the inaccuracies at certain points on that thermocouple curve. So you might have a piece of paper for a particular piece of thermocouple wire that says every time that thermocouple wire sees 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it really should be seeing 101.5. So you can go in here and you can tell the recorder, every time you see 100, that piece of thermocouple wire sees 100, you know that it really should be reading 101.5. So you can enter this in a lookup table for up to 12 points in the recorder and eliminate those known inaccuracies. It's a real nice feature. We do a linear approximation, we do linear bias, and we also do a correction factor. This correction factor is important for the AMS 2750E type applications, where you have to put the correction, any known errors of the recording instrument itself, okay? We'll get into that in another one. I think we're going to talk more about that later in another video. These are the DI channel settings. Same exact thing applies. You know, you got a DI, you can give that DI a name, an alarm point. The DO settings, same thing. You tell them where you want to trip.